Hello, my name is Kelsey, and I worked out to the Shrek soundtrack today. Welcome to the podcast, Can You Take My Shift? This podcast is about bonding with your coworkers, about how much you hate your job. So I just have one question for you, my beautiful little butterfly. Can you take my shift?
Now that I'm back in school and I'm taking a language, I have to give my beck and call to the Duolingo bird, so I have to be available at any moment because that bird does not stop. It's a little scary.
Sorry, I will only accept you saying no to my shift if you can say it in the language you're learning.
So in French?
Yes.
No in French is no.
Okay, that's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Perfect.
Well, hello, kids. Gather around the share circle. How are we doing today? How are you doing today, Amy?
You know, I'm okay. For me, it was the first day back to school for a lot of people. And it went like as smooth as possible. And I said before, like, I'm taking French and oh boy, am I rusty. But that's okay. First day jitters. But we got it all done and out of the way. So, yay.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
It was kind of my first day because I have a go at your own pace class. And our only assignment was, tell me about yourself. So I, of course, because no one ever wants to be the first person to, write the tell me about yourself. So 8 people had did it before I did it. So I was like, okay, what did they write? All right. My name is Kelsey, blah, 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 blah. I hope you're all enjoying the beautiful weather. And then what is the weather outside today? Smoke from the wildfires from the US.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
And I felt like such a jerk. I'm like, wow. Okay. Hope you all are enjoying the smoke and the wildfire.
God, Kelsey, read the room.
I wrote this last night. But anyways, let's get on to what today is about, kids. Because we've gathered around the circle, make a circle like the sun. We're going to talk about our hopes and dreams, not about how society and capitalism crushes those. No, that's not what today is about. Let's talk about jobs, because of course we work jobs. This is a podcast about customer service and employment. No one grew up as a kid going, I want to work in customer service. My dream goal is to work at McDonald's.
Work minimum wage for the rest of my natural life.
No, I want to know about what we dreamed of as kids. What were the kind of jobs that you wanted to be? Think back to 5-year-old Amy. She's sitting in elementary school. You're having circle time. And then you finger painted. You had stories. You got to play with the blocks.
So fun. Loved the blocks.
I love the blocks too. I was a Lego kid, but I also loved the good old wooden blocks. So I want to think back. Okay, so I'm thinking back to when I was a little kid. The very first thing I could think about when I was 4, 5, of course, not every little girl, but like a good percentage of little girls, I wanted to be a princess.
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
Of course I wanted to be a princess. And I didn't know what country. I want to say The Princess Diaries came out when I was younger, because I can't remember what year that movie came out, but that gave me false hope, because I don't know my paternal grandfather. So that gave me false hope that maybe he was the king of a country that I did not know.
Oh, that's too bad.
Right, because The Princess Diaries totally gave me that false hope.
Yeah, I remember growing up, it was princess, or because I grew up around all boy cousins, I felt like I was playing house all the time because I just felt like I was taking care of them. So I'm like, cool, I guess I'm just going to be a mom when I'm older.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what you get when you're 5 years old. Princess or mom, that's what society puts on women. Although, seeing the brutal treatment of Meghan Markle, I don't know if I'd want to be a princess.
Yeah, I remember when, everyone was like, ooh, Harry's still single, and then the wedding happened, and I shouldn't say I love the royal family, I love the royal family drama, because it's so entertaining, and it's so crazy to me, because this goes back, hundreds of generations, basically, it's so ingrained in their lives, so I love, royal family drama no matter what, so, when everything happened with Meghan, I was like, oh, because we all knew Harry wasn't going to put up with any kind of shit.
No, it was so weird for me because I remember watching Meghan on Suits, because I used to be really into Suits, and that I have not finished Suits. I lost interest.
Never seen it.
I very much lost interest. I think the 5th or 6th season, I don't know, the last season I watched, everyone was still there. But it was really weird when they got married, and I was like, okay, this is weird, but hey, good on her. I mean, Harry still has hair, so good on her. She got the one without the receding hairline.
Really, she did.
But besides royal family, I'm trying to think of other things I wanted to be. I remember when I was 8 years old, I went through a doctor phase. Like, I wanted to be a doctor. And specifically, I wanted to be a maternity doctor. I don't know why, but
yeah, I don't know. Knowing you now, like, you don't like.
No,
kids,
it doesn't make any sense now when I look at myself because I don't like babies. I don't like kids. I mean, there's like a certain age when kids are kind of cool and like I'm down to hang out with them. We know they're fully potty trained, but they're like not jerks yet.
Yeah.
So like that, not like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
That's when kids are the coolest, I personally find. But for some reason, 8-year-old Kelsey wanted to be a maternity doctor and she wanted to deliver babies. And I was like, where did I get that from? I don't know. I even did a report when I was 8 years old on being a doctor, and that's what I wanted to be. And I look back now and I was like, I really have no idea why. The only reason I can trace that back is I remember, so my mom used to have to go to work really early in the morning. So she would have to go to work at 5:30 in the morning. So she would get us up with her to like help us get ready for school. And my sister and I would just watch TV before we'd go to school because it was like 2.5 hours. And what is on in the morning? Not much.
No.
You know what's on? TLC.
Yep, always.
And what is on TLC? There was birthing stories, my pregnancy, or the good old I didn't know I was pregnant.
Your mother let you watch that?
She went to work.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
My sister and I were told so the thing was, no, she didn't let us watch it, but she had us ready for school. We were up. We still had 2 hours till Dad had to take us to school. So, of course, we're allowed to watch TV. I know they have parental locks on TV now, but they didn't have parental locks on TV like way back then. Like, we're talking when I was like 8 years old. This is 15 years ago, I think. I don't know how math works. So that's what me and my sister would watch. So I don't know, I got in my head that I wanted to be a maternity doctor, but honestly, like, I don't know I was pregnant. That show scared me.
Oh yeah, that show's scary.
That show is so scary. Like, I do not recommend anyone let their child watch that, especially your 8-year-old child.
No.
But so I wanted to be a doctor, and then after that, I remember wanting to be a pop star because it was when I wanted to be a pop star, that was the height of Hannah Montana.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I had a Hannah Montana wig. When I was in singing lessons, when I was 12 years old, I performed Rockstar by Hannah Montana for my singing showcase, and I wore the Hannah Montana wig. I had the cowboy boots on, you know, the long t-shirt with the belt over top.
Oh, my God.
Yep. I went full Hannah Montana.
Peak 2000s fashion.
Peak. Absolute peak. Like, we're talking, I think this was like season 1 of Hannah Montana. I was hooked on Hannah Montana from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, no, so was I.
No, I just loved it. Then, after pop star, I wanted to be an actress because I got into acting, I think when I was 10 years old when I started acting. And still, like, I mean, I guess that's the only thing I've kind of carried with me my entire life is I always wanted to be an actress. So that was, like, the most plausible one. When I went to New York when I was 15, I was like, I'm going to be on Broadway. And then when you and I went to New York last year, I was like, I don't know if I'd want to live here.
Which is funny because I went to New York and I'm like, I want to be here all the time, but I just love New York.
Well, that was my second time to New York because I went the first time when I was 15 and I was like, oh yes, I'm moving here when I'm done. When I'm done high school, I'm moving to New York. And then you and I went last year and I was like, nah, I don't like New York.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, although I do want to go back again, but I want to have so much more money because I just want to see a show every night.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that was the saddest thing is we could only afford to go to one show, which I'm so happy we got to go see Mean Girls.
Oh, yeah, so good.
It was so good, but I really wish we could have seen more.
Oh, of course. Next time.
Yeah. What else did I want to be? Ooh, I went through an elementary school teacher phase. I wanted to be a teacher, especially, I don't know why younger me liked kids. I don't know what's ruined kids. I can't remember. I mean, I can kind of remember points in my life when I've started to dislike kids.
Oh, fair.
But I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. And then, so when I was in my last year of high school, I wasn't allowed to take any spares. My mother was like, you're not taking any spares. So I decided to TA, like teacher's assistant, the 14-year-old freshman drama class.
Wow.
And that taught me I do not want to be a teacher.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, I was stuck with a bunch of 14-year-olds, and so the drama teacher who was originally supposed to teach the class, she had to get a hysterectomy.
Ooh.
which is a lot of recovery time. So she had to get a substitute teacher, and the substitute teacher was like fresh out of college, super nice. She knew nothing about acting.
Oh.
She had never acted a day in her life. She was just like, I got this job. I mean, she was lucky. She was happy to have a gig. And she was like, so, and then the teacher told us like, oh, my TA will teach all the classes. And I was like,
No, I'm not paid for this. This is not, no.
So I ended up teaching a bunch of kids who did not want to be there. Because the problem was with my high school was the musical theater department. The musical theater program was huge. Mm-hmm. But the actual just drama class, not huge at all.
No,
because our school did a musical every year. We didn't do a play. So the kids who actually wanted to be in theater were all in musical theater. Drama class was full of, so if they could say, I think it was like 20 kids they could take, 10 of those kids actually wanted to be there. The other 10 were put there because they couldn't choose any other elective.
No, it was like that at my high school too.
So it was the worst. I ended up, after TAing that class, because they basically taught that class because the substitute teacher didn't know a thing about acting, and I've been acting since I was 8 years old. Because I've been acting since 8 years old because I got the lead in the school play when I was 8 years old.
Ooh, toot your horn, don't you?
Excuse me, I was Santa in Survivor Santa, and I beat out all the boys to be Santa. Thank you very much. Absolutely. So that taught me that I did not want to be a teacher because I couldn't handle kids that didn't want to be there, and it made me very frustrated because I had taught at an acting camp before. But all those kids, their parents were paying hundreds of dollars for them to be there.
Yeah.
So I loved it, right? Because you're at a summer camp, and I was helping teach the summer camp, and these kids were so excited and wanted to be there, and they were having the greatest time of their life. And then it's high school where they just shove a bunch of kids who don't want to be there. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't teach a class with people who don't want to be here. And that made me really, because I was really going to go into teaching in high school.
Fair enough.
And that just made me completely rethink. I was like, I don't think I want to be a teacher. But also, teachers do not get paid enough.
They definitely do.
They truly are doing the most amazing work, and they do not get paid enough to put up with what they have to put up with. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I also wanted to be an author. Like, I've written a bunch of plays. I wrote plays in college. I always wanted to be an author. I still would kind of like to be an author. Maybe one day I'll write a book. I'm really good at starting things, but I'm not good at finishing.
You gotta get on that Wattpad train, Kelsey. Well,
I mean, technically I'm a writer. I do write this podcast. Thank you very much.
Well, that's fair.
Oh, and here's the one other thing that I can remember wanting to be. A massage therapist. Now, if you know me, this is strange for me.
Yeah.
Because I do not like to touch people. I do not like to be touched, and I do not like to touch people.
Nope.
If I'm really close with you, then I'll let you touch me. Like, I let Amy just step on my back.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like, I love our friendship. The amount of weird things I've asked you to just apply spray tan to my entire body.
Yep.
Yeah.
That ain't friendship. I don't know what is.
Crack my back. Or those, what are they, salon paws?
Oh, yeah, like the little, stick-on heat patches.
The amount of weird places I've asked you to put those where I cannot reach. Like, I love you, you love me, I let you touch me. But I am not a touchy-feely person. Like, when you talk about love languages, that is at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But when I was a kid, I was really good at giving, like, massages.
Yeah. But you do have, like, small hands. So.
I do have tiny hands, but I can, like, really get the knots.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom would, like, lift my back massages. My nana, they were like, you should become a massage therapist. And that was always my backup as a kid. Is like, oh, if I don't become, the Oscar winner I was meant to be, I'll become a massage therapist.
Well, there you go. At least you had a backup, plan B.
I know, right? Doctor. If I can't be a doctor, Hannah Montana, I'll just be a massage. Because, like, as a kid, that was always weirdly my backup. Mm. I would have my big dream, and then my backup was always, I'm going to be a massage therapist. But as an adult, I just hate touching people.
That's fair. You change your mind. In the words of Hannah Montana, you can change your hair and you can change your clothes. Change your mind. It's just the way it goes.
And you can say goodbye and you can say hello.
But you'll always find your way back home. Please don't copyright us.
Yeah, please don't copyright us. But yeah, so that is my list of things I wanted to be when I grew up. And currently, I am none of those things. I mean...
You're kind of a writer.
Yeah, I'm kind of a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I was an actress.
There you go.
So I kind of accomplished 2 out of all those things. I won't be massaging anybody, but like every once in a while, I'll give you a massage. You crack my back, I'll massage you.
There you go.
Yeah. So those are the things I wanted to do. What was your childhood dreams like?
My childhood dreams, they vary. Like, they're all very strange. And growing up, I've always really been into fashion and dressing up. Dress up for me growing up was like a huge thing. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a fashion designer. And do you remember when you used to be able to get those pencil cases at Claire's that come with like a pencil, an eraser? It was like a little kit for like $10 or something like that.
I'm trying. I think I know what you're talking about, but when I think of Claire's, I think of the 10 for 10 rack.
Oh, okay. Well, there was that too, but no, for some reason, like I've always really liked stationery. I have so much stationery that it's
you do.
Really
you
bad.
have so much stationery.
So much, but I love it. And I used to get those as like gifts all the time. So then I remember one year I got one of those for my birthday, and then I got a Happy Bunny notebook, and in that notebook I would draw clothes. I was like, ooh, one day I want to like design this or wear this or do this. And I had my brain set on that for a very, very, very long time. That's probably the only career I've had that's like translated to my everyday life and now like my future career kind of. I did want to be an interior designer for a while, or because I loved building forts growing up. Yeah.
From forts to okay.
I was like, it was all very like designy things. So I loved building forts, or not interior designer,
interior decorator?
No. Like the one where you need like the 4-year degree and a lot of math.
Contractor?
Architecture. Architect. Like Ted Mosby. Architect.
Okay, architect.
That's what I wanted to be, because I loved making forts, but I would make like rooms. I would divide them up. Forts were crazy. I remember one time my mom let me stay home sick, and I felt better halfway through the day, and we had a bunch of cardboard boxes in the house. So then I built a giant fort out of cardboard boxes, and she came home from work and asked me, were you really sick? I was like, I was, but now I felt better. Built a whole fort like in our living room.
Okay, as you're telling me this story, I remember us living in Florida in the middle of the hurricane. We were quarantined to our apartment. I built the fort, not you. Where were these mad fort building skills in the middle of Hurricane Irma? I built the fort.
I'm sorry, I was a little stressed out during Hurricane Irma. I was more stressed out about impending doom than a fort at the time. So the next thing I really wanted to be was a spy. I was really obsessed with Spy Kids growing up, and I used to be really good at hiding. I used to be really sneaky. I used to eavesdrop a lot. And you found this out this weekend. We were visiting our friend Kaylee, and Kelsey, I was like laying down, and I was awake, but I hadn't really moved. I was like on my phone, and Kelsey couldn't see me, and she started going off. We're reading the Percy Jackson books right now, and Kelsey's reading them all before me, and she goes, oh, does this character come back? And I turn around and I go, what do you mean this character comes back? And she goes, I thought you were asleep. I was like, no, I've been up for like 20 minutes listening to this conversation. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. So thanks for kind of ruining the book. When
I see you're sleeping and I go, you awake? Because you don't move.
I don't move.
Yeah.
No, I'm sneaky. I used to get myself into trouble as a kid doing that all the time on like vacations, because I used to just sit there and people were like, Amy, you awake? I'm like, yeah, I've been awake for like 20 minutes. Why haven't you moved? Want to see what I could hear.
Okay, so you wanted to be a spy. I'm thinking, did you ever play when you were a kid, you played Totally Spies?
Oh, always. I was always Alex.
You were always Alex?
Always Alex.
I was Clover.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, as Alex, I loved Totally Spies, Spy Kids, Get Smart. Like the remake with Steve Carell and the original like 19 whatever show. Just charming. I love all that stuff. And then I wanted to be a lawyer for a while, because my mom's just always told me I was very argumentative. So I was like, well, I could make money off arguing. And then I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, because unlike you, I really like kids to this day.
Yeah.
I still really like
yeah,
kids.
you still like kids.
Yeah. Sometimes I like give off like strong kindergarten teacher energy. So maybe if everything else falls apart, I can go be a kindergarten teacher. The only thing, there's no jobs in that.
Yeah, no, that's hard. There's way more jobs in early childhood than there is kindergarten.
And I don't want early childhood if I want kindergarten because those kids are potty trained.
Yeah.
Not dealing with no bathroom.
I'm just trying to think about you being a lawyer because I remember when you were taking your law class and you hated every minute of it.
It's not that I hated law. It's that I hated my teacher and the way he taught. That wasn't fun.
True. Yeah, that was a very stressful time for you and I felt really bad.
That was awful. Business law sucks. If anyone has to take it or has taken it, you know what I mean. And other than that, I thought for a while I'd want to be a guidance counselor because I like to listen to people's problems and give them not like life-changing advice, but like lead them on the right path. Like I don't want to be like a psychiatrist. That's a lot of work. But a guidance counselor I could definitely be. And then my mom always thought growing up I would make a really good nurse. Because I'm always very attentive to people, and even nowadays, like whenever my friends are sick, I'm always like, what are your symptoms? What is wrong with
I could see you being a nurse. You have very good bedside manner.
Yeah.
But you're not really, you're not grossed out by anything, which I've learned.
I'm really not.
Like, I remember when I popped my shoulder out, and you were a little bit grossed out, but not enough to send you running.
No, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I find it more fascinating than anything else. Maybe I'll just go volunteer at a hospital because I don't like science. It was something I've never been good at in school. I was good at physics. That was it. Then you don't need that to be a nurse. So those are my jobs. Did I do any of them? No. I'm still sneaky, so I guess I could still kind of be a spy. And then again, the fashion designer is the only thing that's kind of trickled its way up because I do know how to sew. I've made my own clothes, and now I'm in fashion marketing, and I know how like the industry kind of works. So that kind of, followed me till now.
Okay, that's fair, yeah. You're trying to teach me how to sew. It's not going well. Kelsey cannot sew a straight line for some reason.
That's okay, we'll teach you. We'll get you there.
But, so we've now accomplished, like, what we both wanted to be. Do you remember when you were growing up, we all have that one person who was dead set on one... Because I feel like when you're growing up with people, because... I mean, I might be a bit different for you than as me because I didn't move around at all as a kid. I stayed in the same place my entire childhood. But did you ever grow up with someone who wanted to be something and then either A, they're nothing like that at all, or B, they did exactly that and you're like, wow, you stuck to this from since you were a kid?
No, because the only two examples I have, because I did move around, so a lot of people, like, have really changed their minds. I know my brother Joel, growing up, he wanted to be, like, in animation. That was something he really, really liked. Like, when Pixar had a studio in Vancouver, he got to tour it, he got to do all those things. He was really into all that kind of stuff. Never went through it. Now he's doing something in tech. And he always wanted to be an astronaut growing up. But his vision is so bad that he's not allowed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, technically, Joel, without his glasses, he's legally blind. So you can't be in space and be blind.
Yeah.
Like, so sorry. And then I went to high school with a guy who... It's my favorite story, and I tell this to a lot of people. And it fits well for this. I remember him telling me one day in class, because we were talking about what did you want to be when you grew up? And he goes, I wanted to be a fire truck. And I look at him and I take a moment and I go, don't you mean fireman? Or like firefighter? And he goes, no, I wanted to be the truck. I was like, all right.
So you wanted to be a transformer?
Yeah, I want to be a transformer. So I was like, okay, cool. And now the guy, he's a film director. Didn't think he'd go that path, but...
That's very different from a fire truck to a film director.
Yeah, not quite a transformer. Maybe if science gets there, he'll get to live his dream. But until then...
Because when I think of my oldest friend, I was friends with this girl since we were 5 years old, and she wanted to be an Olympic swimmer. She ended up being an Olympic swimmer. And then she wanted to go into kinesiology, which in Victoria, there's a kinesiology program that literally has like a 3-year waiting list because every person wants to go into it. And then I don't think she ever went into it.
Mm-hmm.
But like she was dead set on that for years, and I don't think she ever went into it. And then the only other one I can think of was, what did my sister want to be? Oh, see, a lot of people I knew wanted to be professional athletes.
Yeah.
But the chance of being a professional, because my sister wanted to be she wanted to join the the Canadian women's team for hockey.
Oh, yeah.
But my sister is very small. She's smaller than me.
Yeah.
Their team is so based out of Toronto that when you live in BC, you don't really have a chance of making the team unless you are like the Hayley Wickenizer of your generation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, she works at a sporting goods store, so she's still kind of like she's in that industry, but it's not.
Not quite the same.
It's not the big dream you want it to be. And then when I think of my teenage best friend, I don't know if she listens to the podcast, but I grew up with her name is Kelsey. We were thing 1 and thing 2 because we were both named Kelsey. And from the time I met her when I was 15 years old, she wanted to be in HR. She's like, I'm going to get a business degree and I'm going to be in HR.
Wow.
And she has a business degree, but I think she works in accounting at a university. But like she has had the most like simple like career path check followed line. And I was like, wow, I've changed what I wanted to do 18 times. And you're like dot cross.
I mean, I like a girl I traveled to Europe with in high school. She was like, I want to be a nurse, and that's all she wanted to be, and now she is. So like some people just have such a vision that that's all they want to be. And you know what? Good for them.
And then some people want to be a fire truck.
Yeah, some people just want to be a fire truck. People just want to live their dreams.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, yes. I was talking to my mom, and I was very curious because when you know your parents, you don't know you've known your parents your entire life.
Yeah.
But they've had an entire huge part of their life without you.
Yeah.
So I asked my mom tonight, I was like, what were things you wanted to be when you grew up? And she told me she wanted to be a teacher, a marine biologist, a gymnast, and a ballerina. So my mother's Barbie.
She wanted to be Barbie.
My mother wanted to be Barbie.
Not quite tall enough to be Barbie.
No,
close.
My mother's shorter than me. My mother works in Parks and Rec. She's close. She's a mix of Ann Perkins and Ron Swanson. And I love her. But to go from that to that, it's just life happens.
Yeah, I don't know what my dad wanted to be growing up. My mom wanted to be a professional figure skater. That was like something she thought that she would be, or she wanted to go into kinesiology. That's what she started going to. Oh, sorry, kinesiology, and then she wanted to be a teacher, so she wanted to do like that pathway, and then she got pregnant with me, and that couldn't happen. So sorry, Mom, love you. And so now she's gone through lots of careers. So. But now she's living her best life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with the thing with career, so you think about what you want as a child, and then you think about what you can do logistically, right? Because there's a lot about having hopes and dreams, but there's a lot of jobs you have to realize what you can never have. Like we all know, at 5'3", I was never going to be in the WNBA.
You're never gonna be.
Let's just put that out there right now. I could love basketball, could practice 10 hours a day, but let's be honest, it's just out of my control.
Yeah, sorry, man. You're not horizontally gifted enough.
It's just like you could never be a horse jockey.
No, I'm too tall.
Exactly. You're way too. Even I'm too tall to be a horse jockey.
Yeah.
They want them under like 5 feet. So there's jobs which are within your control and without your control. And as much as you want them, sometimes it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one day I would love to dunk a basketball. Currently, I've only been able to dunk a basketball on one of those Fisher-Price hoops, but you'll
get there.
I'll get there. For the reasons you don't know what you want to do, they have these lovely career aptitude tests, which I surprisingly never had to take in high school.
I never did either. They always asked us. The only time I was ever asked what I wanted to be was in Alberta. At the time, they made you everyone had to take the same grade 10 math class, but once you finished that, you could branch off to either calculus or non-calculus math. So your math teacher would sit you down being like, so, like, what do you thinking you want to go to university for? And you would tell them, and they would tell you, oh, okay, so you need calculus, or don't even worry about it. Just if you want to take it, go ahead, but you don't have to take it. So I remember my math teacher sitting down, and I was not great in math until probably grade 12. And my teacher's like, so, like, what do you want to be, like, go into? And I was like, oh, probably something within, like, the fashion world. She was like, okay, then you definitely don't need calculus. And I was like, cool, because I didn't want to take it. So other than that, I was never asked.
Yeah, I remember that, too, because I had fully decided I wanted to go to school for acting. I got accepted into 2 different schools for acting. One I couldn't go to because it was in LA, and it was $30,000 a semester.
Ooh.
And they gave me an $8,000 scholarship, but I was like, I don't know where I'm going to come up with the rest.
Yeah.
And then I got accepted into a school in Vancouver, which was far cheaper.
No kidding.
So that's where I went. But yeah, they were like, you don't need high levels of math if that's what you want to do. So what I decided to do was I decided to take a cheeky little look to see if I could find some career aptitude tests. And surprisingly, the government of Canada has a career aptitude test on their website, and there's 6 different tests you can take. And each of them are like 50 questions each.
Yeah, they're pretty intense. We only did one of them, but even the one test, I was like, wow, okay, these questions are... And the questions were very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So...
No, we did the first one. And so let's talk about our answers for that one. Because we went online and we did the one. So if you go on to... We'll link it in the bio. We'll make sure to link...
We'll link all the quizzes we took in the bio.
Yeah.
And Kelsey, you want to go over your results or my results?
We'll go over my results first.
Okay.
So the first quiz we did was the very first one on the Job Bank government website, was the interest one. And my occupations matching my abilities. 100%. Conductor, electrical power distribution manager, government managers of economic analysis, policy development, and program administration, government manager of education policy development, government manager health and social policy development, manager natural resources production and fishing, manufacturing managers, natural gas supply manager, other manager, petroleum product distribution manager, waste system manager, water pollution manager.
Wow, these all sound so much like jobs you want.
Water supply manager, supervisor of food and beverage, supervisor motor transport, supervisor motor vehicle, supervisor petroleum gas, supervisor railway transport, acting teacher.
Really? Lessons acting teacher?
Yeah, look.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So now, clearly I like to be in charge.
Yeah.
Clearly, it thinks I should be in charge. I personally do not work in the gas industry. No, I have no desire to go up to Alberta and work in the oil industry.
I'm screaming. That's so funny.
I don't understand why I got those. Maybe because I think it's because when I do a group project, I need to be in charge. Every time I have done a group project, I have always been stuck with the people who are just the worst, like the absolute worst. So I'm just used to doing everything myself, and I'm used to dictating what people need to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I got those answers. But I like that it was all like supervisor of industry and then acting teacher.
Acting teacher. Well, if all else fails, acting.
Yeah. So those are my... Oh, and then after acting teacher is chef, which actually I'm a really good cook.
That's fair.
So yeah, so leader, supervisor, manager of industry, acting teacher, chef. That's what I take from the government of Canada, things I need to do.
I love it. Thank you, government of Canada. We appreciate you.
Yes, I'll see you on the oil fields.
Yeah, I guess so.
So what are yours?
Mine is very different from yours, which I assumed as much, but I find it really funny. My top job was architecture and science manager, business developing officer, marketing researcher and consultants, computer and information systems manager, a dietitian, an editor, engineering manager, program officer, advertising manager, conference and event planner, corporate sales manager, e-business manager, marketing manager, public relations manager, supervisor in logging and forestry, supervisor in mining and quarrying, an art director, a choreographer, college instructor, a director, film, radio, television, or video game producer, home economist, housing policy analyst, international aid and development project officers, management consultants, social policy, research, social services planners, social survey researchers, university professor, agriculture representative, and last but not least, architect.
See, that's the thing is I don't get. So all of yours made sense.
Mine makes sense.
All of yours make sense for you. All my 100% are the ones of managers. And then when you get to the 98%, it's acting teacher, chef, curator, dance teacher, farm supervisor. But my grandfather is a farmer, and I have supervised him on his farm. Forestry technologist and technician, judge, librarian and museum art gallery manager, manager of publishing motion pictures, broadcasting, and performing arts, manager in healthcare. So, like, I see all of yours. My top ones that are all 100%, I do not get.
No, whereas even my, like, top ones, I'm like, maybe.
I get yours. I mean, there's a couple of them, like nutritionist. You will eat chips and salsa for every meal if I let you.
Damn straight I will.
But, like, we all have jobs. But, like, most of your jobs make sense. Mine, like, because, like, if you were to pick out of one of those, what is the one you would never be caught doing? You don't care how much money you would never do.
I'd never be caught being in, like, logging, forestry, mining, or quarrying. My uncle works in a mine, and I have absolutely no interest in that.
Like, I have no interest in petroleum product distribution manager.
Yeah, or corporate sales managers. Even though, like, I'm a marketing person and that's sales, corporate sales is so sleazy and disgusting. Nope, no thank you.
What is conductor? So what are they? Because the conductor is my first one.
Choo-choo. They make good money, though. They make really good money.
Conductors direct bands, orchestra. Oh, I thought it was a train conductor.
Okay, so did I.
So my number one pick is conductor. Conductors direct bands, orchestras, and choruses in performing instrumental and vocal compositions. Okay.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense. I fully thought train conductor.
So did I. I was like, choo-choo, here we go.
No, but okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I could be a conductor. I was in band. I was briefly in, I did band from when I was 11 to I was 13, so middle school.
Yeah.
I played the alto saxophone.
Nice.
I had a lot of natural ability for it, but I ended up hating the instrument because I had to walk 45 minutes home from middle school.
Oh, that's
And I had to take that thing home to practice, but I was also still under 5 feet tall. Because I was, of course, 4 foot something. And that thing weighs 45 pounds. And there was 3 hills in my 45-minute walk home.
Oh, God.
So to think I resented that instrument?
No, that's fair. Funny enough, I also played the alto sax growing up, and I changed, not for the same, I changed because I got really obsessed with Rock Band, and I was like, I want to learn how to play the drums. It's not the same.
Well, see, I wanted to play the flute because when I was in when I was 11, not in grade 11, when I was 11, I was going to join band, and I wanted to play the flute because when I saw the orchestras, all the pretty girls played the flute. Mm. So I was like, I'm going to play the flute. Also, it fits in your backpack.
Yes.
But no, my father said to me, you don't want to play the flute. No, it's a cool instrument, the saxophone. You want to play the saxophone. My dad wanted me to be Kenny G.
See, I wanted to be Lisa Simpson. I wanted to be like with the saxophone all the time. Jazz man.
Yeah. Although I did try to play the flute and I was terrible at it. So he did know my natural ability. Too bad I had to walk all that way. I could have been one of the greatest saxophone players ever. Probably not, but
you never know.
You never know. So that's the government telling you what you do. But I get it. Like, it tells me that I'm more of a gives you your top 3 personality. I'm a directive person, an innovative person, and a methodical person, which I do get. You know, I like to dictate. I like to direct. I'm very innovative and I'm very creative. I'm always ways of coming up with new ideas. And methodical. I do like things done in a way.
Yeah.
So do you have your top 3?
I do. I got directive, I have innovative, and then I have social. And I think those are all pretty self-explanatory things. Again, like directive, you like to be in charge, and they see themselves as independent or self-directing, because I work well in a group, but I also can work very well individually, even though my school record will not show that. But when it's in a working environment, I can work by myself. Homework, nah, doing that shit last minute. Innovative, I adjust to change very easily and can always change up things. And social, I like dealing with people. As much as being in customer service sucks, I'm always like, oh, you got a problem, customer? Give them to me. Like, let me deal with this. I'm like always ready to go. I'm ready to fight someone at all times.
Okay, that's fair. I do see you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the government, of course, is going to tell us what we want to do. But, of course, you don't always want to trust the government.
No.
Now, so I decided to seek out from a different source on what I think I should do with my life. So when you think quizzes, what do you think? What website would you go to?
Does it start with a B?
It does. So let's stroll on over to BuzzFeed, because I found a BuzzFeed quiz. So this BuzzFeed quiz is this 20-question quiz will tell you which 5 career options you're most suited for. Now, I've done mine, but I'm curious. We're going to do Amy's live on air.
Ooh, okay.
All right, because we've done the government one. We took the 50 questions. Let's see what BuzzFeed has told us. Amy, day or night?
Night.
Sweet or savory?
Ooh, sweet.
I had to do this live because this is the dumbest questions. The government one is all about, are you a methodical person? And BuzzFeed's like, no, sweet or savory? Cold or hot?
Cold.
Inside or outside?
Outside.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Movies or TV?
TV.
Soup or salad?
Salad. That's a very important job aptitude question.
Country or city?
City.
Numbers or words?
Numbers.
Art or PE?
This may shock a lot of people, but PE.
Truth or dare?
Ooh, truth.
Winter or summer?
Winter. Not looking for... Oh, sorry, summer. Why did I say winter?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was stupid of me. Oh my god, I almost
you don't
ruined
like
my
winter.
quiz. I do not like
You
winter.
moved from Alberta to avoid winter. There we go. Okay. Veggies or fruit?
Fruit.
Text or call?
Text.
Fries or onion rings?
Onion rings. Fries.
Past or future?
Future.
Christmas or Halloween?
Ooh, as the French would say, Halloween.
Oh, I see that university class is doing so well with you.
Absolutely.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Pancakes or waffles?
And I will fight everybody on this. Waffles is always the correct answer.
Waffles absolutely
They are the
is.
superior breakfast.
Diagonal or down the middle for your sandwich cut?
I'm gonna get shit for this, but I choose diagonal.
Why would you choose? No, I agree with you, diagonal. Why would you choose down the middle?
I don't know.
Diagonal there's something about diagonal that just tastes better.
Yeah, it's just so satisfying.
Yeah. All right, what are your results?
All right, let's see. What did I get? Ooh, I got Meryl Streep. That's the photo that they give you at the end of the quiz. I got recommended career path, actor, fashion designer, artist, chef, or florist. You're an uber creative person with a big personality. You're not afraid to be bold and you put your own twist on everything you do. You excel in careers like these that put your artistic abilities to work and never get boring. I would say that is incredibly accurate for me.
See, the thing is, I got the exact same answer. I did the quiz too. I chose some of my answers were very different than yours, and I got the exact same result as one BuzzFeed quiz does.
Yep.
So, actor. I mean, of course, I've been an actor.
Yep.
Have you? Have you acted in anything?
Yeah. I got the lead role in one of my elementary school's Christmas pageants 2 years in a row. Thank you very much.
Were you Jesus?
No. One year I remember we did like a surfing Christmas thing, and I had this like whole dialogue scene where a shark took a bite out of my surfboard. I don't remember what the other one was. And then I did drama.
Were you Santa?
I was not Santa. I was an elf. That's what I was. I was an elf.
I mean, fashion designer, that's very close for you. And that's like me too. Because we sell jewelry at my work and we have a mannequin, but we don't sell clothes. So I use like these decorative scarves we have to make like dresses. And people are always like, oh, how much is this dress? I'm like, now it's a scarf with just a lot of pins in it.
But you could buy the scarf and turn it into a dress yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
See, there you go.
I mean, if you have this perfectly sized 2 sculpted hourglass figure.
You make it work.
Yeah. No, but you're teaching me how to sew. You could be a designer.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, what artist? I mean, what is my medium? I was really good with clay. I was always good at clay growing up.
I've never been good at... I've always been good at color, like color theory and matching things like that. Drawing, sculpting, painting. Nah, that stuff frustrates me, so I'm really good at doing things with my hands, which is why I got really good at sewing.
Okay. Chef. What is your best dish? Like, if you're... Okay, so... It's the third date. Mm-hmm. You want to impress me, Amy. What are you cooking me for dinner?
It's so hard because the thing I'm really good at is you don't like it, so I would never make it for you. I make a really good chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
True. I think Alfredo sauce tastes like mold.
Yeah. So the one thing I would make you that you wouldn't like. So other than that...
Is that your best dish? That's your like panty dropping dish?
Yeah. Because I make it really good. If I'm like really trying to impress someone, I put like garlic and I put all the spices in it and I put some extra cheese and you make homemade garlic bread, put some thyme. Oh, it's my favorite. So good.
What would be mine? I mean, I've done a lot of like the third date cooking, but I'm also a baker too, so that one's like really... I have like my go-to baking is I either bake my boyfriend cookies if I want to seal the deal, which you've had my boyfriend cookies.
They're very good.
Yeah, or I can bake 3 different types of pies really well, or butter tarts. My go-to meal. Ooh, I did a third date go-to meal when I asked him. It was like, do you want English, Mexican, or Italian? And he said English. So I baked like a roast with Yorkshire pudding, garlic mashed potatoes, roasted veggies. That's a good seal the deal. That's my English seal the deal. My Italian seal the deal is I make a penne Antonio. So it's penne noodles, pesto sauce, feta cheese, tomatoes, chicken. It's a recipe I learned from a restaurant I used to work at. Yeah. And then if I'm going to go seal the deal Mexican, because I worked at a Mexican restaurant, I do like roasted chicken enchiladas. So much cheese, but so good.
Yeah. No, I think my best dessert, which again is also something you don't like, which is why I never made it for you. You don't like a lot of the things I like, so it becomes really difficult.
It's true.
Yeah. They're called black bottom cupcakes. So it's a really rich, dark chocolate cupcake, and then you put a ball of cream cheese frosting in the middle, and then you bake it. And
I've had those. I like those.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you liked those.
Why did you think I don't like those?
Because you don't like cupcakes. You don't like cake.
True. I just don't like vanilla cake.
Okay.
I don't like vanilla cake and I don't... It's because I don't like frosting.
Okay.
I hate frosting. I think frosting is gross.
Oh, yeah. No, I should make you my mother's black bottom cupcakes.
No, my mother has made black bottom cupcakes before, and they're very good.
They're so good.
I like them. Yeah, I just don't like vanilla frosting, and I don't like birthday cake, but I like chocolate cake.
Okay, that's... Okay, I will make you black bottom cupcakes then.
Sounds good.
Look at all these things we learn on the podcast.
Exactly. We're becoming closer friends. And the last thing that BuzzFeed told us that the two of us could be is a florist.
No.
Now, I could be a florist because I can grow flowers. We had at my work, we were given this bulb at Christmas time that grew this flower, and it had never bloomed as beautifully until I started working there because I talked to it. I named it Francesca. I watered it, and it was so gorgeous. I'll have to post a photo of Francesca. She was so beautiful.
She was very pretty.
You kill everything.
Not on purpose. I don't have a good green thumb. The thing is,
You have a black thumb?
Yeah, my mom's a great gardener. Like, she can grow anything. My uncle grows carrots and potatoes and all those great things. I inherited my aunt's green thumb, where she will kill she always bought, like, the hanging baskets from Costco. She'll kill those, like, after a day. I had cactuses that I got when I moved here as like a moving away gift because I said I really wanted like a cactus. I had 2 cactuses. They moved here all the way from Alberta. One of them had a death wish from the very beginning because it fell out of its pot 3 times. And I had to replant it every time. And they died. I honestly, I forgot to water them. That's just what happened. And I love buying flowers or when people buy flowers for me, but I just can't keep them alive to save my life. That's the issue. I don't fully always blame me, especially because living here, our apartment gets so hot and it has the worst sunlight. Even though we have skylights, like you would think there'd be enough light, but I don't know. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Sure. It's not just totally me. It's that we live in a box of heat.
Yeah, no, our apartment is not the greatest for living things. Like, I love fish and I want to pet fish so badly, but I will not bring a fish into this apartment.
No, he'll get cooked. And that's not fair to him.
No, it's truly not. So now we know what the government's told us we should be, what BuzzFeed's told us we should be, what our childhood has told us what we should be. Now, think back to all of this. Did you ever decide, yes, I want to be a barista?
No. I mean, growing up, because I knew people who worked at the coffee shop, I always thought it'd be really fun and really cool. I didn't think I would be there for as long as I have been. That's my thing, is I thought I would just be like, oh, it's just a job and I'll leave. No, now I feel so indebted to this company that I can't leave.
No, and I think about it, because when I was a little kid, I did play restaurant.
Oh, yeah, everyone did, yeah.
You brought the plates to the table, there's nothing on it. It was like, so good. So I did see myself working in a restaurant. Customer service in a boutique? Not really. But as a child, you don't think of the means to the ends job. You don't think of the paycheck jobs. You think of the careers.
Yeah, well, as a kid, everything just seems so exciting, so new. And, when you're like, I'm a doctor, you don't realize you need 8 years of medical school to be a doctor. Like, It's not just Grey's Anatomy, just show up kind of thing.
As a child wanting to be an actress, I didn't think of, all right, I did the acting school, the auditions, and then all the other bullshit that comes with trying to be an actor. I didn't think of that.
No,
I was just going to win an Oscar. I had a dream. I was going to win a double Oscar. I was going to triple Oscar. I was going to write, direct, and star in a movie, and I was going to win the Oscar for all 3. Lofty goals.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of movie I was writing that deserved all 3, but as a kid, I was gonna do it.
Yeah, no, I really wanted to be a spy, but you need, degrees in international relations, and you need to speak multiple languages, and you need to be able to disappear, and it's a very lonely life to be a spy, so...
Yeah, it's not as glamorous. You don't have that hairdryer grappling hook.
I don't have the grappling hook. I don't have the cool compact. I don't have a Jerry. Totally Spies glamorized.
We have a Jeremy, but not a Jerry.
No. I haven't seen Jeremy the Seagull in a while, though, which is good. He can stay away.
Yeah. No.
But who knows? I think there's always time, no matter what, if you want to pursue your dream career that you want.
No, you can go for your dreams anytime you want. You can change your life at any time. I mean, I'm 25 and I'm just going back to school because what I thought I wanted, I don't know if I want anymore. And that's totally okay. And I think you can pursue your dreams at any age. You're never too old to learn something new.
Never.
That's the old, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can. It just takes some patience.
It definitely does. And that's a very good note to end on.
I think so. So thank you, kids. Circle time is now over. You can go have your juice box and your cheese string.
Yum.
And play outside. Remember to put your outside shoes on. Because we don't want to drag dirt in on the circle time.
Nope.
But I think Amy's going to give us the good old plug and outro.
Heck yeah, I am. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you've made it this far, you can follow us on Instagram at Can You Take My Shift. You can also follow us on Twitter at CYTMS Podcast. We love to hear from you. If you want to send us a DM, comment, like our things, just share anything. We always love to hear from you and have good conversations there. And you can listen to us on Anchor. We're available there. We're available on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're also available to be listened to on YouTube, which is a great option for a lot of people. And I think that's kind of everywhere.
I just want to give a final shout out to my mom, who I finally convinced to listen to this podcast. She also didn't realize podcasts were so long. So shout out to Kelsey's mom.
Hello, Kelsey's mom. Thanks for making it this far. That's awesome. Yeah, no, 9 episodes. We're doing great. Now that we're officially back into school, we're just going to keep chugging this train along. Just gonna keep on going. And Kelsey, can you take my shift?
Well, see, I have a very regimented now workout routine every morning, and there is like 4 Shrek movies, 2 specials, so as long as it doesn't interfere with those.
Oh, that's totally fair. Shrek's very important.
Because Shrek is love.
Shrek is life. All right, thanks guys so much for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.